Hello everybody, this is Professor Bushra Ansari and we are back with another session of your Human Resource Management and Global Perspective. Now today we are starting with your 4th unit, so it's like we have almost completed your syllabus. First syllabus, that was the first module, we spoke about your overview of IHRM. In the second, we spoke about the global HRM functions, that was all about your recruitment, selection, compensation, performance, promotion, so many things. In the third, we were able to discuss about managing the expatriate and repatriate. An expatriate is the person who is going abroad or going in another country and settling down on the pretext of a work assignment. Whereas a repatriate is a person who is coming back to his home country, to his very own country after completing his assignment or maybe by terminating his assignment. So we discussed a lot many things about non-expatriate, role of family, and then what benefit we have and all sort of things. Now in the 4th unit, that is, we are going to talk about something like that of your international HRM trends and challenges, as in what all things on international level, that is on global level, how things are functioning and how you can use these new trends or new ideas, making your IHRM to be more effective, and why actually these trends and these new things are in thing, you can say, when you are talking about your IHRM. So when you talk about an emerging trend, when you talk about something new, let's take an example. Now you have studied about recruitment and selection in, say, 3rd semester. Earlier, a few years ago, you were more concerned, or the HR was more involved in looking for candidates through Naukri.com. Very simple portal, by now you have heard about it. But then slowly, gradually, LinkedIn became such a strong professional network that people started looking in for jobs over there as well as looking for candidates over there. And today, when digital media is in boom, we have this whole digital media promotion and then using this platform to build my PR and to do so many things. I fall back on the same platform. So I find my candidates also over there. What is this? A new trend? A new thing that is very much in this time. Same way, when you look at IHRM, your emerging trends is more about why. If you can see on the slide, it's like basically I am getting into new ideas, new concepts and new outcomes because I feel these things can give me a better result. These things can help me grow further. These things can help me have a better image in the global world. So when you talk about these emerging trends, one of the emerging trends that I am going to talk about today is offshoring. Now when you say offshoring, let me give you a very simple thing to understand. See, what do you call the corner of the edge of the sea or any seashore or any kind of say water body when you go around? We call it a coast, correct? Same way, when you talk about this whole word of seashore, what is this? I am trying to say that a sea is having a logical end connecting towards the land. So you mean to say that if I am in like say center of the ocean or center of a place like that, now when I come towards the land, I am safe and secure. When you pick up this very simple term of shore, I am saying I'm offshoring. So that means I am on the land. Now we have been talking about the various lands, that is parent country, host country, home country, third country, nationals, these kind of things. So same way, when you talk about offshoring, what am I doing is I am moving away from my land and giving the business process or some important work of my company to another company which is based on another land. The government allows me to do this because I am providing, like I am saving on some kind of a cost over here, but at the same time, another country is also earning employment. What am I talking about is offshoring. Now, generally what happens is US, UK, these kind of companies, they try, say, giving out. Now, you have already studied about the word known as outsourcing. And when I say outsourcing, these are the main thing that clicks to your mind is your BPO, the call centers. So it's business process outsourcing. What is happening? A company is outsourcing its business process, something which is a part and parcel of the business. Same way in offshoring, the company is going to give out a complete project, that is a complete part of the business, to another country. And when they give out this whole part to another country, the employment again is based on either PCN, TCN, HCN, however it may be. So offshoring, in simple words, if you have understood outsourcing in your business process, the business planning subject, you would understand offshoring as well. I am purely moving from my shore and giving out the business process to someone else, giving out the business opportunity or a complete project to someone else, to the another country. Now, why this offshoring is necessary? We do have so many UK and US based companies. We are working over there, night shifts, UK shift, odd number of shifts, and all these things. Now, this offshoring helps the parent country to save on certain costs and taxes. This offshoring helps me to focus on, that is the parent country, to focus on something which is much more important than this, the mere work which has been outsourced or offshore. So same way, when you talk about this offshoring thing, you are trying to say, understand the other country might do this thing more better. A simple thing I told you earlier also, a very normal thing. If I have 10 things to be done, my attention would be divided among 10 things. But if I have only one thing to be done, my whole focus is on the same thing. Same way, if I offshore, if I give away a certain business process, the country which is taking the project is going to do my work with complete diligence and complete dedication. So my error would be less, people would be more like work centric, my work is being done properly. So we are not saying it's a complete if you will get confused and say, then what's the difference between offshoring and outsourcing? But then at times in my offshoring thing, I might have people from my local area. So it's more like giving out your business process to some other country, and it might involve your people, might not involve your people. Hope this was clear to you, as this is a very short but a very trending concept right now, where majority of the companies, especially the MNCs, they prefer opting for small companies which are or a startup, giving out their business process to them and saving on a certain cost on the taxes as well as the material cost. Hope this was clear to you. See you in the next session. Thank you for watching.